The contents of this recording from MicheilaSheldan.com, Micheila Sheldan, or any affiliated parties is for informational purposes only and does not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of these organizations or individuals. Always consult with your doctor or health professional before making any changes to your diet, lifestyle, or prescription drug use. Please understand that you assume all responsibility for the use or misuse of this information.
Jeremiah.
Hi, Jeremiah. Do you have a general message for the room today?
Yes, we do. So there are many who have assembled in a beautiful message for what is coming forward now for the planet in a time of change. This is going to be one that is going to serve you in a way that is vibrational, but also in a way that will allow you to connect your mind to your soul, an aspect of what is needed in this time frame in order to shift where we are headed as a global consciousness. This global consciousness is one we would like to define. Now, many are in understanding, as we have brought forward in previous message, of this universal pool of consciousness or information that is energetic. This energetic information is a pool of consciousness that is available to you now. I want to re-emphasize that. This information in this pool of consciousness is available to you now. You may say, how am I to tap into this pool of knowledge? Well, my friends, you already are. You already are tapping into this great consciousness pool of all that is, has been, or ever was, because you are a part of it. You are made of it, you see. You are made of it because you came here in order to serve it. Now, let us define this serving of this pool. As a soul that is transitioned into a physical body in this time, you made a collective decision. We call it a collective decision because we understand you are human beings and you are standing in a physical body that is singular in nature. This was intended. It has somewhat been brought forward as a disadvantage, this individual feeling you have of separateness. It's not a disadvantage per se. It was given to you as a gift in order to experience what you came here to love and enjoy. The problem is you have forgotten that unity of collective consciousness that made the decision that brought your soul into the experience it's having now. That experience was to serve this pool of consciousness. It was to be the server of this connection to all that enabled it to evolve and ascend into a higher, resolute place of universal oneness. Now, we want to address this place of singular nature that you feel. This place of singular nature that you feel does serve you. It serves you from an aspect of your daily experience. You see, as a soul, you came here with a purpose. You came here with a purpose of an experience you wish to have. It was a beautiful roller coaster ride of life. And you may say, why? Why would I want to have this roller coaster experience of life? Well, because as a soul, you came to experience the greatest joy possible. But there is a greater purpose to that joy that you're not understanding in this physical body that is separate. That sense of joy from a collective consciousness standpoint was meant to serve the entire universe. You see, this pool of consciousness of all that is, was, or has ever been is an expansion of energy that is so great that it is what is fueling our entire collective universal race. So imagine now you as a soul coming into a physical body and saying, I want to have this separate experience manifested through joy. You made that decision as a part of a collective knowing that that joy would only benefit this vibrational pool of energy. It expands it, but it expands it in a way that we all benefit from the bliss of that joy. We all benefit vibrationally from that attachment to that energy field that is serving, you see. Now we say it's an attachment to this energy field. Perhaps we should use a better word here. We would say it's a connection to that. We are all connected to that as one. So as you're serving that through joy, can you imagine how other beings are benefiting? So now imagine your daily experience as a singular human being. You're walking upon a lower vibrational planet that is holding you in a state of blockage of remembering why you came to serve. That blockage is preventing you from remembering that on a daily basis, I must reach for joy. It's allowing you to focus your mind's attention on the tasks that take you outside of who you truly came to be. There's a purpose there, we would say. Unfortunately, we would say that purpose is connected to lower vibrations on your planet that wish for you to not have that remembrance. And you might say, why would that possibly be? We would say that there is an essence of creation through that experience of you not remembering that allows these lower vibrations to then take that energy and allow it to serve their own collective. And you may say, but that energy doesn't come from joy. How would that serve anything? And we would say, remember, my friends, the definition of that universal pool of energy. Once it is there, it is not necessarily important to define what in that pool is high vibration and what is low vibration. It balances to a place where the expansion is what's important. So if you're expanding an energy that is not connected to who you are and that is lower vibrational, who is it serving through creation? It's serving an expansion of a pool of resonant energy that is lower in nature. So that lower in nature vibrational pool now expands, and now you can see why we would say your planet Earth is being held in a capacity where it is not serving universal energies. Because the expansion of energy is going in the wrong direction. So we would like to break this down in a simple way in which human beings can understand they can break that block or come outside of that block in order to realign with who their soul came to be. And that is through your daily experience. It's very simple, we would say. In your daily experience of physical separateness on this planet, what are the things that resonate your energetic field and your heart and soul with love? This would be unique to you, and that is the beautiful reason you came to be separate, you see. Not one human being came here with a soul wishing to have the exact experience another has had. Why is that? You see, that universal pool of energy now expands greater by those joyful experiences. So whether you came here with a desire to experience art, whether you came here with a desire to teach children, whether you came here with a desire to sing or dance or blossom through energy, through nature, by all means pursue that joy. Even if you must transition to that over time. So We know that human beings find themselves within a resonant energy where they feel they are on a path they cannot step into that joy on. The only way that is shifted in your world is if you choose to do that. You have a free will choice here, my friends. You can accept the things in your daily physical world that are the musts and the shoulds on your list of to-do. Or you can choose to add to that list the things that bring you joy and love. That is where your soul begins to remember. And that is where the blockage of those walls break down and you become free. You become free now to step on that roller coaster ride you chose to have. You become free now to serve the planet from a greater sense of knowing who you are. And who you are resonates higher than this separate person that you're standing in. It doesn't mean that you have to let go of that separateness in its entirety. But when you remember the higher knowing you have of this plan and how that joy is to serve, that's where the beauty begins to take place. And we would say many human beings in this time are associating a sense of guilt around these feelings of joy. And from where we stand, this could be the worst possible tragedy on your planet. Because if there is something in your energy field that you are resonating with that brings you a sense of joy, and you say, I place guilt around this feeling of allowing myself this pleasure because it is taking away from something that I know I should do. It is taking away from something that society says I must do. You are only creating more wall here. Imagine that wall now, my friends. It's energy. It's lower vibrational energy. So every time you do not feed that joy that you know you have in your resonant energy field to grasp onto, you're not serving what you came here to serve. Now, you may say, there are things that would allow me to have joy that may hurt another. We would say, that is not joy. You must go back to the understanding that you had when you transitioned into this physical body. Because you knew that the things that would bring you joy would bring joy to others. But there's a false sense of reality going on here on your planet, you see. You have been institutionalized into thinking that you cannot access joy. If it does not earn a paycheck, if it does not align with something you have been taught, if it does not align with what society expects of you, it cannot most certainly be right. And we would say this is a travesty. Perhaps it is the teacher who tells you you must sit in your seat a certain way. Perhaps it is the post office that tells you you must place your name at a stamp a certain way on a rectangular envelope. We understand these are all small things in your life that have come into your reality that you just accept as something that is. But think about those things for a minute, my friends. Where are they allowing your mind to accept that you must do things the way they are told to you and not the way they resonate truly with your soul? Where have they allowed you to grasp onto this separateness of being in such a way that you do not have the freedom to access joy? We would say everything in your physical world that is showing up for you in this way, that is blocking your freedom. We don't want to get carried away with this in such a way that we are speaking of governments and things like that, and that is something we can address if necessary, but these are the little things, my friend. These are the little things that your mind has grasped onto that tell you, I must do things that line up with the way I was told. I must do things in a way that have been outlined for me as I have been taught. And we would wish for you to look at yourself as the human blackboard that begins to erase those ideas of freedoms that have been taken from you. Because once you begin to do that in all areas of your life, you awaken to that aspect of your soul that came here for this purpose, you see. So we can talk about light workers, and we can say you are all light workers in this time, but really, my friends, you came here to access the joy that is you, in order to bring the light to this universal pool that expands and brings us all to a place of light. You will remember that, and you may begin to remember that once you begin to access these things that bring you joy. Once you begin to allow yourself to access these things that bring you joy. So that is our greatest message to you today. We are challenging you, and we don't say this in the means of a fight, but we are challenging your connection to your mind to begin to recognize those things in your life on a daily basis that are holding you in a place of disconnection from that freedom, and allowing those things to drop away. Once you begin to recognize where they are showing up for you on a daily basis, just the recognition of that is what allows those walls of lower vibration to crumble. It is what allows you to now be that free, sovereign soul who came here to serve the universe. So that is our greatest message to you today, is that you recognize those things in your daily walk of life. And as you recognize them, allow them to drop away and grasp for the one thing in that day that would bring you joy. The gravity or the weight or the importance of that thing does not matter. In other terms, it doesn't have to be something that is a large expectation of the universe of who you came to be in order of your mission, we would say. It can be something as simple as sitting in the grass and enjoying the sunshine. Because that amount of joy is equal to the amount of joy you may put into a book or a teaching or a healing. Because when it is relatable to the definition of that universal pool of energy, any joy that is placed there is expanding us in the right direction.
We have some questions from the audience today. First, how have cosmic energies shifted after 2012? And how has the consciousness of the planet and the people on the planet changed as a result?
Well, there are many definitions we would like to bring forward now. So in general, as an answer to this question, we would say human consciousness has been raised, most definitely, and is headed in the right direction. However, when we say this, we would like to define that that does not mean that the larger part of the population has also ascended to this place of higher consciousness. So the way we would define it is this. Your state of energy on this planet is in a flux. It is raising and moving in the right direction. However, we would say in the time frame from 2012 to where you currently stand in a time block, we would have wished, according to Akashic record, that you would have progressed in a way that would have resulted in a higher resonant energy of light at this time. Now, if we are to say we would measure that in terms of numbers, we would say that your planet has fallen short of that goal. Now, not to place anyone who is listening to this message in a state of fear, because you see, there is always a path that must be walked in order for a solution or a resonant direction to unfold. So why has this not happened? The reason we would say is there is an outside source of beings that is not only directly connected to the core of Mother Earth, but also in a universal place outside of the auric field of your planet that is shifting the energy of lower vibration and manipulating it in such a way that there has been a DNA change. Now that DNA change goes beyond this time period of 2012, but let us just address this 2-year period. This DNA change has been one that has been manipulated in a physical way on your planet. Now, when we say physical way, we mean through physical means, through air, through water, through solids, through soils, through foods, through vibrations, through resonant energies, through electronic energies. Now, know that this is all forming one field of lower vibration. So it doesn't matter what the mode of transportation is for this energy. It's all the same. It equates to lower vibration, which for you, my friends, for your DNA genetic, equates to the fact that there is not a healing that is taking place on a faster scale. And that is what this awakening is all about, because we are, as a human race, connected multidimensionally to higher vibrational energies, to our higher selves, through our soul. And this is all a connection through our DNA strand, or through our genetic. There are light filaments within that DNA genetic that must be illuminated or reconnected and re-illuminated in order for you to remember this multidimensional connection. So if there is an increased blockage of lower vibrational energies, or remember the wall we spoke of earlier, those walls are now becoming thicker, we would say, with this smog of lower vibration that is being placed upon your planet. Now, why is that happening? This is happening because there is an urgency. There's an urgency by these lower vibrational beings because they are seeing the progress here. They are seeing that human beings are remembering that they came here to create through joy. They're seeing that they remember who they truly are, and they are capable of healing this DNA genetic in such an easy way that they must resonate with this physical abstract idea of a wall in order for you to block yourself from that remembrance. Now, in saying this, and we will always caveat this message as not putting you in a state of fear over this, because you see, my friends, it is all one that will be overcome and is currently being overcome. So back to the differential of population. There are many light workers on your planet in this time, in this past time frame you speak of, who have healed, who have been enlightened, who have awakened, who are healing that DNA genetic. How are they doing it? By resonating with higher vibrational energies. It is a very simple answer. And the higher they are raising their vibrations, those walls cannot affect. The more the DNA genetic strand is illuminated and enlightened and healed, these lower vibrational walls cannot block or affect. Now, this small amount of the population who have healed in this way are the way showers for those who have yet to awaken. Because this resonant energy is so high that it is enabling this balance to occur. We ask you to look at this as not a struggle, but a push-pull of sorts. So these lower resonant vibrational energies are coming to your planet, and we would say they're coming in higher rates now than ever before. But they're light workers. They're those who have awakened, who are re-illuminating those filament strands, who are vibrating at a higher speed of resonant energy and light. They create a collective force around them that enables the ones within their collective energy to also begin to now raise and heal. Because there begins to be a push-pull of this energy, you see. So we'd ask you to look at it this way. Human beings were created with a 12-strand DNA. We would even say we are moving you towards a 13-strand DNA, which is a multidimensional connection above where you have ever resonated in your current lifetime. As these DNA strands are healed, so you may be standing in a body that is healed to a point of 6 or 7 strand DNA, let's say, and In our dimensional reality, we don't use these types of numbers and measurements, but we understand human beings must have a conceptual reality here to grasp onto. So let us say you're standing in a body that has healed itself to a level 7 connection of DNA. And you are resonating with others who are perhaps at a level 2 or a level 3. Your resonant vibrational energy, due to that reconnection of those DNA strands, is so potently high that those around you are now in a battle. They're in the battle of their lives because their energy is pulling yours in a way of attraction in order to heal. And it's fighting that wall. It's trying to break that wall down. And they show me the crumbling of the wall just breaking down and someone reaching through that wall to try to grasp onto that energy. And that is what happens. And that is how an individual begins to awaken to all of this information that they have what is already within them in order to achieve this healing, you see. So we are pleased to say in this time that the light workers that have come forward that have healed this DNA genetic are standing in a resonant vibration that is so higher above where the rest of the planet is standing that it is leading the charge. It is allowing that push-pull to pull the lower vibrational energies out and in and above where they need to be. So this is the direction we wish to head as more begin to heal this connection. This would not be an issue any longer, that these physical means, and it's important that we define these physical means and these lower vibrational beings in this time, because you see, these lower vibrational dense energies on your planet come in the form of a consciousness. This consciousness resonates at a lower vibrational speed of energy, meaning they do not access the pool of energies we speak of in such a way that they can create through it, because they are at such a low vibrational speed of energy that it is not possible. So this creation must be facilitated through you. It must be facilitated through your energy field. And that is why those lower vibrations are coming to you in a physical way, you see. So imagine now when a human being is to resonate at an energy where they understand they are more than the physical reality they stand in. That is when those physical means of lowering vibration cannot take a stronghold. They cannot take a stronghold if a human being has stepped into the resonant energy of the soul that they came here to be, and they realize that they are not just standing in a physical world in a physical body. So that is the importance here, you see, is allowing those human beings in your physical collective to see that you have risen above that physical state, and allowing that sense of joy to come through you in a way that is healing to them. Because if they see you, let's just use an example from the initial message, and let us say today is a day in which you choose to experience joy, and that joy comes through a painting, and you say, today I will sit in the field and I will feel the grass and I will paint the sunrise, and I will bring that painting into my home, and I will show my family that I have accessed joy today. Imagine the vibration of that painting, my friends. Imagine as you hang that painting on the wall, the vibration of energy that comes through that painting. Not just from the understanding of those in that household that knew you chose joy, but the resonant energy that that joy fueled through you onto that canvas is now an energy as well. That energy can allow those in that physical reality to see you as the catalyst for their awakening, because they may begin to feel the joy of that energy and say, perhaps I would feel joy in doing the same. Or I see how much joy that brought this individual. Perhaps I should grasp for my own joy. And that is when the healing begins to take place. But we would like to summarize this question by saying that your planet is headed in the right direction. There is an awakening or a shift of these energies that will reside in a healing of your planet in such a way that all human beings will be resonating in a higher strand of DNA genetic. We do not see that change coming in the next 5 to 10 years. We see it gradually taking place. So yes, in simplicity to this message, we would say you are heading in exactly the right direction, and there has been progress that has been made.
A lot of people teach that giving 10% of your income will return 10 times that amount. Is this tithing a percentage of your income a universal law of abundance in return, or is this simply religious dogma?
Yes, there are many messages we would like to say about this. So first we would say we would like to address the financial dollar upon your planet. And some may say that this financial dollar is a sense of lower vibrational energy. And we would say it's all in how it is used. So your planet is moving towards more of a free sovereign type of energetic. And in a free sovereign type of energetic, there would not be an emphasis placed on a physical dollar. That is one that is associated with lacks of freedom. And many would say that I am not associating myself with that physical dollar in this time due to that lack of freedom that it is standing for, or sense of perhaps slavery mentality that has been placed upon that physical human dollar. But we would like you to consider that everything on your planet is energy. That energy is neutral. You are the ones that place the vibrational state of that energy on any dimension of your physical reality. So if that physical dollar that you are to give to this charitable organization is placed in good faith with good intention and high vibration in order to serve in that way, we would say by all means, by universal law of attraction, the giving of that dollar is sending out a resonant energy that must be matched. Now, we would like to further define this act, because we would say there are many upon this planet that are coming from a similar experience of giving money to a charitable organization from a different aspect of intention. And perhaps that intention would be, I must do this in order to serve my own egoic sense of who I am. I must do this in order to fit in with an institution or an organization. Or I must do this because an institution tells me I will get back in terms of an aspect of prayer or God or service. And anytime someone is using that act in that way, I would like you to imagine the resonant energy that goes along with the act. It is not coming from a pure intentional place, and it is coming from a place of egoic lower vibration. So in that sense, is that physical dollar serving you from a place of law of attraction? It always must, because like attracts like, and energy resonates at the exact mirrored frequency of resonant energy. So in that case, are you building a lower vibrational karmic experience around that? Yes, we would say you are. So we would ask human beings to always be pure and wrap their minds around the intention of that energy of the physical human dollar and how it is being used. And know that the energetic exchange is always weighted more heavily than what you may think. And what is behind that energetic weight of aspect of you wanting to give that dollar? Is it coming from a pure sense of your soul? Or is it coming from a societal or institutional aspect of who you have been told you are? We would also like to add that there are many institutions upon your planet that are of lower vibrational nature. Not in an intentional state of the word, and again, we do not wish to wrap fear around this. But know that this lower vibrational definition of an institution would go something like this. This institution came into play with good intentions. Perhaps it was to solve a problem upon your planet. Perhaps it is a disease or a prevalent illness upon your planet. And over time, society has placed many aspects of lower resonant energy into this vibration of this institution. We would ask you to look carefully at how this institution is also using its vibrational energy before you choose to give your dollar there, even if your intention behind it is good. We would say in many messages, it is all about your intention, you see. But you must be aware that your intention must match the vibration of where it is placed as well. So look closely, my friends, at the institutions you think you are serving intentionally. Not that if this institution is not using that money in the wisest way, that you would receive karma upon yourself for that decision. But that the energy of that dollar is not serving the best in terms of creational energy here. So, in conclusion to our answer, we would say intention and remembering that every financial exchange is an energy, and the energy behind it is the importance, is the most critical way we would like human beings to think about any types of decisions related to this type of monetary aspect.
What happens after death? After the life cycle, do we always live in some other way, or do we die and not exist in any other form?
Well, this is your soul's experience to travel. And this is not one answer, my friends. So every soul is unique in a sense. Although we are connected multidimensionally in one human consciousness and universal love, souls are a part of that consciousness. So each soul decides upon its transition where it is best served now in this pool of creational energy. So you may come as a human being in this current physical reality, but we want you to remember that your soul is always expressing itself multidimensionally. So in this human reality you find yourself standing in, it is difficult for you to grasp onto the fact that your soul is also carrying out lives and collective missions outside of this physical reality. You see, we need to bring time into the definition of this answer because human beings must also have time. And this is resonant with your unique physical aspect of self as a singular being. In order to function in this reality as a singular being, you must have an aspect of time. And time, all that it is, my friends, is a way to store, a way to grasp onto information and process. So your soul is multidimensional without any aspect of time. So we will define this transition in a minute, but know that it is carrying out lives, past, present, and future, simultaneously as it is within this physical body. So it is accessing information outside of who you truly are. So what is the purpose of you being in this physical body? It was to serve that creational energy we spoke of. And you are having a physical experience and one that is joy. So when you transition from this singular physical life, what human beings don't understand is they're reunited with that aspect of their soul that is every bit of every experience of universal creation that ever was. It's a beautiful reconnecting with that oneness. It is difficult for you to understand in this physical reality. But when you are there, it is not now a singular decision of, shall I come back in a physical body? Shall I come back in a multiple dimensional aspect of that soul? Shall I come back as an insect or a tree? It is one consciousness that is deciding how best to serve universal creative energy. But when you come into that experience as a singular being, You had the intention to serve from a place of joy. So you may say, well, does my soul ever expire? And we say there's no expiration date here because you're energetic. So if you decide, or your soul decides, when it's in this collective resonant energy of love and oneness, to not come into another physical reality as an experience, that is what is best for all of universal energy. And it is what your soul needs in order to evolve and ascend all of the universe, you see. So know that this transitional period is one in which you remember and are assembled with all of this remembrance. There are souls that come forward with a physical reality that has an expiration date. We all have an expiration date in this physical world we stand in. That expiration date is when you have served. That expiration date is when you have evolved. That expiration date comes when your soul is ready to now re-merge with this beautiful consciousness of love and light that we call who we are. So what we most want you to know about this transitional time is not to define it as a decision to come back as a human being. It's a remembrance of what we all came here to be as one and how we are to best serve that. It's a knowing of what must come next in order for our highest good. This transitional energy that you will ascend through is a process of reuniting with that. And as you become reunited with that, the mission changes. The amount of joy you wish to feel changes. How you wish to experience that changes. And your soul becomes one with the universal experience it is having on all levels. And the beauty of that is beyond words. We would wish human beings to remember that you are more than what you came here for in this physical body in this moment. Because that will help you to understand that connection to higher self that you need in order to access the greatest amounts of joy that you bring through that transition in order to evolve to the next place that the universe calls you.
What advice can you give someone who's having problems in a relationship or marriage? Is there a purpose behind relationship problems, and why does a relationship or marriage come to an end?
Again, we will direct you to the definition of vibration and energy, and that you are vibrational beings. So every soul came with an experience it wished to have, and we resonate with joy, and we ask that human beings resonate with joy, but we are to understand as well, and we ask that you understand as well, that your soul came here with an experience to have. There is an amount of resonant lower karmic energy that your soul came to serve the planet through. It is always being accumulated in a way that accesses higher vibrations of understanding and ascension. So in your physical reality, you are accessing experiences that are difficult, we understand, that are causing you pain, we understand. But know that you are releasing this lower vibrational karmic energy in such a way through these experiences that your soul asked for in order to evolve to the next highest place that the universe needed. And we would even connect it to this definition of transition. You knew when you transitioned that as a soul in this physical reality, you came here to serve that purging of that lower vibrational karmic energy. Now, the soul that is connected to you through this experience also wished for the same. It is bigger than who the two of you are as an individual. It's serving the entire planet from your soul's evolution. So there need not be a suffering here, we would say. And you do have a free will choice in this as to whether you choose to walk that path of resolving that karmic dense energy in such a way that you grasp onto the suffering. We wish for human beings in this time to remember that connection to their higher self in that transition they went through, that they are knowing they are resolving this lower dense karmic energy in such a way that is serving all. They are not only evolving their own soul, but they are evolving the soul of another, but it is bigger than that. That energy is going into that creative pool that is expanding and resolving the entire human planet, you see. Now, some may say, why would we have to have a divorce in this situation? That is an energetic in itself. So what we would like to explain here is that every human being came with a path to walk. And you may say, I have a free will choice in this, so I may choose who I wish to marry, I may choose who I wish to divorce, and that is the path that I walk. It is by my free will choice. We would say, not necessarily, my friends. We would say, you are a compass on a path that is guided down that path by resonant energy. You are a magnetic force of attraction for everything your soul came into this physical reality to experience. So you came here knowing that you were going to evolve your soul to a higher place. You came here knowing that higher place was going to evolve every soul that was and ever is. Even generations of human beings that have not yet entered this planet Earth, you call them. You're attracting the energy of the individual in physical form that you needed to resolve that karmic energy through. So you may think, I chose this husband, and in fact you did, but in a sense you vibrationally attracted this husband to give you exactly the experience your soul needed to have that was decided on in this transitional phase of collective knowing. And you had that experience, and you made the free will choice to either suffer through that experience or grasp onto a higher dimensional reality in walking that path. And now you may say there is a divorce here, or there is a separation, and we would say, you may think that you chose that separation, but we would say, no, my friend, the energy has shifted here. The resonant energy that was pulling that attraction together to have the experience that you needed to have to serve your soul has now been released because the experience has been had. Whether you chose to suffer through that experience or whether you chose not to matters not. It is the vibrational experience that is the point of attraction and what matters for the evolution. So now you've had the experience and the energy shifts, and there is a new attraction coming now to the next experience that you are supposed to have in this physical reality. So many human beings would suffer over this. They would say, I see this divorce coming and I must suffer because of a human physical reality that is not one that is relatable to on an energetic way, or in an energetic way of serving all that ever was. And we would ask human beings to resonate at a higher vibrational energy to this, in knowing that any separation or falling away of another human being or experience is serving you from the highest place of love. And that is because that energetic experience is now over. But you are now attracting the next experience that you need to benefit you and all of creation. So we would ask human beings to allow themselves to let go of the suffering and remain vibrationally open to the breakages of energy that are occurring and allowing the attraction of the new energies to enter, because that is where the growth takes place.
We'd like to speak with the Arcturian extraterrestrial consciousness, please. Who are we speaking with?
King of all kings. What I would like you to understand about my name is not that it is a king that resides above any. It is that I am a conduit. I am a conduit for many who assemble in this time multidimensionally in order to speak through this channel in particular. What I would like you to know is that the energies of this Arcturian race have assembled indeed, but there are many in support of this as well. This Arcturian race is now coming from a place of strong support from other races. This is due to the fact that they are working very diligently on a plan. This plan is to raise human energies in a way that has never been experienced to date. It is in a sense of technology that will be coming to your planet in this dimensional reality and many others. And as they are accessing this energetic now, they are sending it telepathically to many through the auric field of Mother Earth in a way that it will open the minds and shift the minds of those who are holding these plans to enable them to come to fruition. So their role here is very important, we would say. It is one of great love. It is one of great service. And they are assembling in this time in order to bring messages forward. And I am a transitional one in that. But also know that there are other light beings that have assembled as well in a circular connection of love that are allowing this energetic vibration of message to come through.
It appears the channeled information is inconsistent. According to the Hathors, Mary Magdalene and her husband, Yeshua ben Joseph, known as Jesus of Nazareth, were Arcturian in origin and only incarnated on Earth the one time. The Palladians say that they were Palladians in origin. The White Brotherhood says that they had multiple Earth incarnations. Which of these are true, and why, if in fact there is a truth, and why is this information inconsistent as it's being channeled by different people?
Well, we would like you to understand, and this is in resonant energy to why there are many who have assembled for this message. You see, my friends, there was a time of great shift on your planet in which the DNA genetic connection of human beings was created. It was created in such a way that there was a multiple dimensional aspect of who you are to all races. When we speak of all races, we also speak of lower vibrational races. And you may say, why is that? And we would say, because in this time of creation that we speak of, all races were present in this planetary space, and many have remained, we would say, and continue to walk your planet Earth. So, in answer to this question, what you must know is you are made of all dimensional races simultaneously. The creation upon your planet in this time was so great that races came together to give the best ideas of what was prevalent in this time in order for your race to serve the universal aspect of creational love from its highest state. Now, in saying this, we want you to know that there were many on this time that had mutated. There were many in this time that had reproduced. There were many in this time that come forward as mixed beings. And we would equate it to the current human race. So there are many on your planet, if you are to look at human race, that have reproduced, that have connected together as one, that have formed a new type of human being. It is the same for our race, you see. The problem with human beings in the fact of this historical lesson is that they place races into separate dimensions and define them very narrowly. What we know in our higher dimensional vibrational aspect is that we are all connected as one. So many may say that the Pleiadians resonate from the Pleiades, and there are no Arcturian beings allowed in this region. We would say we are all energetically connected, you see. So there is not one definition that we would put on the human race as to who they truly are. So is any of these definitions correct? We would say no. We would say at the point of creation, and there was a time we want you to understand that there was a clearing of your earth. There was a clearing of your earth that was purposeful. This clearing took place from an energetic standpoint in which rivers were risen, in which earth was covered. There was a disassociation of day and night, and there was not a remembrance on the part of the human race as to the change that was to occur that day. This may sound fearful, but it is not. It is just a dawning of a new vibrational energetic that was planned for the planet. Upon this day, multidimensional races were involved in the abstract realigning of your DNA genetic in connection to the multidimensional universe and how that would benefit creation. It was not the hand of one being or one collective race. It was the hand of all of the universe. So if you are looking for a definition of who these individuals or human beings are, you would say they are beings of universal nature that are connected to all of these races, that all of these races express themselves through these beings. And we would say more importantly of this time frame and of these stories, and we would say many of these stories have been skewed. We want to make sure that you are in understanding of that. This is vibrational in nature. The words have been skewed in a vibrationally significant way in order to skew your understanding. This time frame in particular, we would ask human beings to look at these readings and these ancient texts from a standpoint of multidimensional connection because it was present. It was present on the planet in that time. It was being used in such a way to access information, and there was a free flow of energetic telepathic resonance of energy. There were beings present, yes. Would we describe these human beings as an extraterrestrial being? We would say that definition would be too narrowing. But what we would say is that these human beings were most definitely accessing multidimensional universal knowledge and vibration. And that has what has been blocked from many of these texts and ancient scribes. Because, my friends, there are many lower vibrational dimensional beings that do not want you to remember that side of the story. Because if you are to understand that, you can heal your planet very easily. So know that it is all about this multi-dimensional connection when you are to read these ancient scripts and scribes. It is more than one race. It is a collective race of many who are working together as one.
We'd like to speak with Mary Magdalene, please. Hello, Mary.
Greetings.
Did you, in fact, have a physical incarnation on Earth, and were you married to Jesus in that life?
Yes, so what I would like those to know of my story is that I am a multidimensional connection as well. One that had a resonant energy of knowledge through what is now extrapolated as prayer. I want those to know that are defining prayer as spoken word and prayer outside of self to a God that is one that is worshipped is not the correct version of what I would wish to tell. I am an extrapolation of light through my own physical being and my soul in this time. But knowing that miracle and prayer comes from within, and knowing that I was an access or a conduit to my own intentional belief in that telepathic availability to my soul. Many may say, your marriage of this man or your relationship of this man is significant in the story. And I would say it is more of a symbolic representation in that story that you should look to. The symbolic representation of the universal connection of creation, the symbolic representation of healing, the symbolic representation of knowing that we all have God power within, knowing that we are connected to that energy that is God, and knowing in this time that sourcing that came from prayer that was internal to my own soul in its fullest envelopment of who I was in a representation of what you needed to know in this time. And did I walk a physical reality? The answer is yes. I walked it in much joy, although I would ask you to know that my walking that life was in great purpose of the stories that have resulted. But the stories that have resulted in many circumstances have been skewed. The most important message of my story is in the intentional belief of prayer and what prayer truly is. And that all of that is a multidimensional connection to who you are and who you are connected to right now. And that who is the collective consciousness that is you. And any miracles, my friends, in your daily life are capable through this connection. Miracles are just an aspect of who you came to be, expressed from the belief of who you truly are.
Thank you.